What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Game On Improve Your Health podcast. Today's episode journey is being guided by none other than your host, Austin J, or hallucinodream, if you know him from the gaming community. And today's topic is actually going to be the 5th week fun chit-chat type episode on the first week being as it's August, and there is 5 weeks in this month, this year of 2022. Thank you for tuning in. That was a long title. Thank you for tuning in and listening, and enjoy this episode. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to make that the full title, by the way. Thank you for those who are tuning in. Thank you for those who are returning. I'm going to start by saying I apologize for my rambling. This episode's not going to be very long, but I'm trying to get back on track. I'm recording on this on Saturday, as I specified in our last, so I'm hoping it's going to be edited and uploaded Saturday as well. In our last episodes, past couple of episodes, I've explained that we are moving, and today I'm running on a little less than 5 hours of sleep. Yesterday I was running on a little less than 5 hours of sleep, and I do believe that it actually is really catching up to me, because you ever feel when you get so tired that you feel like your heart is just pounding out of your chest because you're just so tired. That's how I am. That's how I'm feeling right this second. So my original plan was to continue the nutrition series and go over carbohydrates or carbs. And I decided, because pre-recording the episode right before I decided to change, it wasn't going very well. I'm just too tired to think straight, I think. So, plus very distracted, lots to do. Moving is tough, especially when you need to start gathering stuff for your house, like kitchen utensils and cookware and toddler mattresses for the new bed that you got, and you're trying to avoid chemical emission and all of this, stuff I didn't think about prior. But, always forward, never backwards, still making progress. It's just been a wild ride. And I am tired doing all this research at night to try to find a mattress so that I know mattresses are incredibly hard. The more research I do, the more I find reviews on people, parents who are getting overwhelmed with the amount of mattress options out there, but not many of which that are toxin free or chemical free, and it makes it very difficult to shop, especially if you don't have $1,200 to spend on a toddler mattress that they're not going to use for very long, unless you plan on having 25 kids. But well, you get your money's worth, honestly. And to me personally, no amount of money matters in comparison to my daughter's health. So I would pay that $1,200 if I had it, but I don't have it. So anyways, it's a little tough. But that being said, gonna definitely write a nice review for our listeners and followers, and even on my personal YouTube, and my personal followers and listeners and viewers. And when I do find a mattress, and explain what I looked into and why, and I think that's important. I'm actually going to start doing that for a lot of things. The cookware, I've been doing a lot of research, been learning a lot about mattresses and all this stuff I never thought I would actually learn about. It's actually quite interesting, but it's also eye-opening as well, because being a biohacker, I really want the cleanest of the clean, especially for my daughter, right? I want her to be as healthy as possible. And yeah, it gets stressful at times. So if I can do all this research and then help explain in, what's that one Reddit community? It's like Explain Like I'm 5, where people can ask questions or difficult questions, and people explain very, very well like you might be a 5-year-old. So in simple terms, if I can help people that way on a variety of things in regards to health and wellness, including cookware and mattresses, and possibly why you should be using these ones as opposed to the other ones. And disclaimer, I'm probably not going to be one of those people who endorses products or whatever, even if I were to gain quite a bit of attraction. And we're talking about One Punch here as well, because I want this information to be like actually as real as possible and looked at as though it's real, because it is. I don't want it to be looked at as though it's kind of like a sales pitch, right? So, but if I can help even one person, that's great. I will take that. Speaking of, I'm not going to name who it was. I'm just going to say, or how I know them, or anything of the sort. I'm just going to call this person Bob. But about a year ago, I spoke with Bob, and he was telling me how he's getting older and he's not feeling very up to par anymore. Blood pressure's a little out of sync, taking medication for that, this and that. Just doesn't feel as mobile. I gets lightheaded sometimes. I don't know if I just said that. I'm tired. But Bob also not exhibiting any signs of actual Alzheimer's or dementia, but was starting to forget random things. So I recommended, after explaining and doing some, or providing some research behind it, I recommended a herbal supplement, and this was about a year ago that we had talked, and I had recommended that, and just talked to Bob again within the past week, and he explained to me how he would swear by that supplement and say it definitely helped. He feels like he remembers much more. He's not forgetting why he got up and walked into a different room. Again, not in. It's more like it was a lot going on in your mind type thing, right? So like, I mean, this happens to me all the time, and Bob's a little older than me, but I get up and forget things all the time. I see I'm missing something and quickly run to the store, get to the store, and I'm like, well, why did I come to the store? So it happens. It was just happening more recently to him, and it was bothering him. So he said he swears by it though, and he said it definitely has been helping, and he would recommend it to anybody. And he also got off some of the other medication, and just went with kind of working on his physical activity and eating natural foods, a little healthier, trying to really be aware of what he was eating and drinking, and said he overall feels better. And he thanked me for the information and bringing that to light and sharing the supplement with him. And maybe in the future I will go over what supplement it is, but as of right now, we're going to keep that discreet. But the moral of what I'm saying is he appreciated, and the information that I provided with the research actually did help him, and something that was affecting his, we'll call it, it is part of health and wellness, and it helped improve it, and he's very grateful for that. So hearing that made me feel that's why I started One Punch. That's why I want to help as many, or even one person, in any aspect of health and wellness, to help people feel better, to move better, to optimize their mind and their body, to be able to, and I say this all the time, I'm going to live to be, I change it often, but it's usually around 150, 200, 300, forever type. And people look at me crazy like, why do you want to live that long? Blah, blah, blah. But I just heard an audiobook. I bought the book as well because that's how good it is. And one of the questions or statements was to put it in perspective on, if you were, let's say if you were 40 or 50 at the time and you feel great, you're still, working out, you're still competing with younger people in different group activities, and you just feel great. If you felt that same way at 120 years old that you did at 50, that I just explained, would you still think about age the way you do now? Would you still think that living to 150 at that point would be ridiculous? And I thought that was an incredible kind of like new perception, because it really is. I lost my train of thought because I'm so tired. Anyways, but I mean, that's the goal, is to make, for myself, is to try to get to that point. I want to feel as good as I do when I'm 50, 60 years old. I want to feel that good all the way up until 120, 30, 40. And, try to combat the aging process. And I want to spread that knowledge with everyone else, everybody that I possibly can, people who, are interested, so that people, young, old, young, so you can start to work on it early and maintain. It's harder to reverse than maintain. I feel like that is like a thing for many different aspects of life and anything really. Yeah, and the older generation, like, be able to take your great grandchildren to the park, right, and be able to walk around with them and play with them, and not have to worry about needing, maybe somebody there to assist you, or needing a cane, or forgetting, random things that you might normally, or in your younger years, wouldn't have forgotten. And I'm not saying about memory, I'm not saying that's something you can improve your memory, but there's more likely, with the amount of distractions in the world, more likely going to forget a bunch of stuff. It's kind of life in general, but so that's my goal, and I just wanted to explain why. That's kind of why, just hearing that feedback is kind of why I started this, and why I want to really educate the everybody, really. So I'm not going to drag this episode out. I just wanted to go over a little bit of fun stuff, what's going on, this and that. If I end up finding a mattress, I'll definitely let people know. And I will resume the nutrition series starting this coming week. So this will be the 5th week, being as it's the first week of August. So nutrition series will start back up, and then we'll go over some carbohydrates. But thank you for those who are tuning in and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, all the links are over here on the left. If you have any comments or anything you heard, you can reach out to us there. If you're listening on the podcast platform, all the links are in the description. Yeah, thank you for tuning in, and hope to see everybody in the next episode.